G'day everybody, welcome back to Tavern Keeper. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's episode, we are really going to focus our efforts on getting 3 stars for this tavern. A couple of issues have arisen at this stage. We need to ensure that we've got 3 different types of booze on tap, and at the moment I think we only have 2. And we're probably waiting for some Mudweiser to arrive. I'm just taking a look at when that delivery is going to actually arrive. It looks like it's going to arrive after we close. I'm just taking a look at other types of booze that we could potentially work with. Maybe I can do the Deep Cavern Lagoon for the time being, and then, you know, that should satisfy our 3 drinks. And as soon as we get the Mudweiser, we'll, you know, get the Mudweiser in as well. But the other problem is really just getting, well, a couple of Tier 2 patrons, and I don't think I have control over that, and we're really just going to have to get lucky trying to get patrons in. Anyway, let's speed things up. It is the beginning of the day. And I could probably get some entertainment in. Obviously, we do need to maintain 75% on our satisfaction rating. And yeah, it seems like there's already a lot of patrons coming in very early in the morning here. I guess people don't really have too much to do aside from drink the day away. Drink the morning away, maybe? Let's do entertainment like that. I think that should cover the majority of our patrons, so they should hopefully be pretty happy with having some entertainment. And I didn't really get a chance in the previous episode to play around with some of those decorations that I said I wanted to play around with, so I'm hoping we'll be able to do that in this one. I don't know if the decorations actually improve people's perception of the tavern itself. It could. Anyway, let's get the Deep Cavern Lagoon in there. Oh, we are looking pretty empty on some of the other barrels as well, aren't we? So maybe it's not a bad idea for us to start getting shipments delivered. So maybe another 6 barrels there. Let's do speedy delivery. I think we need it. And while we're here, let me just quickly check on the stock of all of our foods. We've got stew, we've got 20 mutton, which means that we should still be making the stews. The spuds will eventually get used once the mutton is used as well. We've got carrots, farm hens, game hens, and plenty of bread. We don't have flour though, so I think maybe a delivery of some flour would be decent. So let's get a couple of bags of fine flour. And I think maybe we can do speedy delivery here as well. Is there any reason why we shouldn't get speedy delivery? I guess if I really wanted to hoard gold a little bit more, but I really don't have a need to do that, do I? I've got plenty of gold right now to utilize, so maybe that's not really a problem, in my view. Okay, we've got a little bit more bread already on the way, actually, so we should get a bit of a stock of bread. That's prioritized there for Caleb. He's getting a little bit impatient. And let's just take a look at guests. Who's this? Fortune teller. Only a 1 star. What's the deal here? Do we have... Perhaps maybe it's the size of the rooms. Is it the size of the rooms that's a problem? Okay. I think we've just figured out the issue that we're having. So I thought that perhaps maybe we could attract 2-star guests by simply having 1-star rooms, but that's not the case. I think we need to get the rooms to 2 stars before we'll actually have 2-star patients. Sorry, not... I keep calling patrons patients. Probably thinking more of a hospital type sim. Alright, so we do need to also increase the room value up to 600. Wow, that's gonna be a challenge. At most, 5 beds. Alright, so this is very interesting. We might need to play around with our layout in that case. Perhaps maybe what we could do is, instead of having 3 and trying to squeeze in more, I think it might be better for us to do maybe 2 rooms. And that way we can sort of squeeze more stuff into those rooms, if that makes sense. So... question is, how do we do that? I think I could probably reduce the hallway size and then have 1 room on this side and then 1 room on this side. That seems like a decent enough idea. I just need to wait until these patrons leave before we can actually do stuff about it. Alright, another day full of work. We do have the patrons leaving, so we should be able to play around with all of this and overhaul the entire thing. Yeah, my bad, guys. I should have realized that there was a few additional ratings there to work towards with our accommodation. So, not to worry though, we should be able to fix things up pretty quickly. I think we could also make an argument to reduce the size of the front desk. Front desk doesn't need to be that size, in my view. So let's just temporarily move stuff out of the way. And I am going to need to get rid of one of the beds, obviously. This gigantic thing, bit of a problem, isn't it? Let's do... yeah, let's just place things randomly for the time being. Carpets. One of these carpets might actually have to go. Alright, so... the thing is, I do want a room that's slightly bigger for this side as well. So what we could do is maybe we could add a little bit more to the bedroom here. So the hall is going to be quite narrow, and that's okay. Make sure to add a door. And... no, that's not right. Man, what a mess. Let's knock down some walls for a second. And I probably do need... just convert that into a bedroom there, that little segment. And then from here, we should start thinking about sort of dividing stuff, although, as I said, let's reduce the size of the front desk. That looks good like that. And then a door right there at the end of the hallway. Yeah, this looks decent, I think. What we might be able to do is maybe just expand the staff room slightly. Like that. And then now we should be able to get some walls in. So how big do we want this room to be though? I reckon maybe we sort of do something a little bit odd, like maybe we do... Oh, I sort of want to make a few sort of angles here, but if I can get rid of the doors for a second. Brilliant. Brilliant, okay. And now we can get the doors back in. So one there, and now we have a little bit more space. Only 2 rooms instead of the 3, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. But we should be able to get the beds and all that sort of stuff back inside. So let's start with the bed. Where do we want to place the bed? Maybe the bed should go into the little nook section. Just because I can then use the rest of the room to get other sort of expensive things in. That looks good. And then maybe we get one of the rugs in. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, although this rug feels like it's a bit too thick. I wonder if I can edit that a little bit and just like reduce the thickness. Something like that, maybe. Doesn't look too bad. And let's go back and let's get some furnishings and all that sort of stuff inside. So we had this thing. I could probably squeeze that there, or probably put it here. I get the feeling we might want to sell this big cabinet looking thing, or perhaps maybe we could place that somewhere else. Although even the tap rooms are a little bit, well, a little bit full. So we might not be able to get what we want in there. Let's try to get a bit more value in. What about the hearth? The hearth is pretty big, but it is also quite expensive. So, and there is a requirement for a wash basin, if I'm not mistaken, so let's just take a look here. Yeah, we need a wash basin. So, I don't know if we need to get to like 3 stars at some point, but let's get that wash basin in first, at the very least. I think we can fit one right in this corner. It feels a little strange that you would have a wash basin in the actual accommodation itself without there being a toilet. But I guess perhaps maybe in medieval times that's what people did. They kept wash basins in the bedroom. Let's see. The chest, we do want the chest back in, so let's put that there. Again, these rugs, they all look very, very thick, don't they? So I sort of want to just like reduce the thickness of a lot of our rugs, make them look a little bit more realistic. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And we need a wash basin in this room as well, so maybe we can just do one right next to the door, similar to what we've got on the other side. And, let's see, just got an achievement there, not entirely sure what that's for exactly. So I've got one more rug. And perhaps maybe what I could do is I could use this to pad out a little bit more value. I probably do want to rotate it and probably reduce its size, to be fair. So let's go in there and let's try to resize it. Maybe reduce the thickness on this one as well. Move it around a little bit. Okay, that looks decent. Okay, let's just check on the value that we've got for most of these rooms. Yeah, okay, value is a struggle though, isn't it? You know what? I reckon we can achieve value with paintings and art. Because some of the paintings that we have access to are very, very expensive, right? So maybe also what we could do is remove these lanterns, and instead of having lanterns, because the rooms are a little bit bigger, we could probably have like chandeliers and stuff in there, which obviously is a bit more valuable. Great. This thing I think we're going to have to just get rid of. It's a little bit too big. Maybe we could have put it in the hallway or something, perhaps. So maybe I jumped the gun on that one. Do I put in another hearth here? It might not be a bad idea. Yeah, we've got the space for it. Yeah, that looks good, in my opinion. Let's do paintings, though. So, decorative. Paintings. Opera orc. And we've got all these other variants of these paintings as well. It's strange because we don't seem to have the same options as when we're in the design mode. So if we look at paintings here, we've got all this stuff here, which is pretty expensive. I mean, I don't mind splurging a little bit. We probably do need the walls this time though. So let's get one in there, and then let's just play around with the size. Okay, so that's in there already. So I just want to check that we have actually achieved the value. Okay. Was it at 446 before? I'm not sure. Let me put one more painting down. Something worth quite a bit of money. So it was 446 before. Let's just see if this makes a difference. No, it doesn't. Okay. So we're going to have to put other stuff in. Maybe paintings from the actual build mode, which that's a little disappointing, to be honest, because we only have the opera orc, which is worth a decent amount. We'll probably put other stuff in. plants. No. Antiques. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of options, do we? Opera Orc? Sure. Which means I might need to get rid of some of these, so... Bit of a shame, but that's okay. Get some money back. Yeah, trying to get that value up to 600 and maintaining the size of the room is quite the challenge, if you ask me. So, let's see. I'm sort of looking for shelves and stuff like that. We've got these types of shelves, which at the moment it says 0, but I think there is some value. So let's put that in there and just see how much value that adds. Or 7 for, yeah, it's not a lot, but I guess it's doing a little bit for us. So we'll need to add way more. I'm sort of hoping we might have like tankards and stuff like that, something that we can sort of place on top of things, but perhaps maybe that's not available. Let me do a piece of furniture, perhaps maybe on this side. Problem is, what type of furnishing? Ooh, actually, this is what I can do. This hearth is worth way more than the normal hearth. So, that's the avenue there. Perfect. It's gigantic, but that's fine. So, have we reached the room value? Yes, we have. Oh, awesome. Okay, I should do the same thing on the other room as well, and bring the value over. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, let's just double check that we've reached the value. Yes, okay, and this is the maximum star rating for this current scenario, so perhaps maybe if we change to a different map, we may see a need to, I guess, have bigger rooms with more stuff in it. But yeah, things are looking promising. Hopefully, we'll get those guests in, so I'm crossing my fingers here. Let me just see if anything needs to be addressed here. So we don't have 3 drinks on the menu. So instead of Lost Oasis, I think we need Nomad's Nectar. Got some gifts, which will open. I think some of these are repeats, and you can simply sort of place down some of these things free of cost the next time you want to place them down. So, alright, so I think our drinks issue has been solved. We just need to maintain 75% average patron satisfaction. And we also need those 2-star accommodation patrons. So apparently we don't have certain things. Grilled skewers we're out of. How can that be? Don't we have the farm hens and... Is it the farm hens or is it the... Okay. One of the types of hens we've run out of. Game hens. So let's grab a couple of game hens, and let me just take a look at whether or not we need anything else. So we're probably about to make some more stew, but we've still got plenty of stock. So what was it that we're out of? Breakfast rolls. Yeah, Okay, we can buy some breakfast rolls. I suppose that's not bad when we're out of bread. At least people can still enjoy another type of bread, although it's not handmade. Mudwiser time. So yeah, I think that's going to be our 3 go-to. Mudwiser, Lost Oasis, and Nomad's Nectar. So we should constantly be ordering these things in. Just need to, you know, watch our stock levels. What's going on here? Staff reporting issues, can't find the stew anywhere. Well, you guys need to make some. And what else is out of stock? Oh, the stew. Yeah, of course. Alright. I haven't been doing any entertainment this time around, have I? I think we've got a group that we could potentially serve. Oh, okay, but they're coming way past closing time, so no, we won't accept this group. Sorry guys. There's a little bit of time for entertainment. Let's get some entertainment lined up there. And then, yeah, I think we're going to be closing at around this time, so don't need any more. Place is getting a little bit dirty though. So one thing that I've found to be quite helpful is you could potentially shift people around to do sort of janitor work every so often to try and help clean the place up a little bit. Or alternatively, you could also close the tavern. Oh, actually, no one's here. Oh, goddamn. That's some wasted money there. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, you could close the tavern and have people focus on just simply cleaning the place out and then reopening it the next day. And we won't really take too much of a hit considering the amount of gold that we've piled up here. Ooh, got a storybook, and we do have the merchant in as well. Let's just check in with Ingrid.
You're startled by the sudden appearance of a staffer before you. Excuse me, Keeper, but tomorrow is Stuffington's Day. Me and the other halflings were hoping to take the day to enjoy Stuffington our faces. Is that okay?
Stuffington our faces? I mean, that sounds like a festival I can get behind. Yeah, well, if that's something you celebrate, sure.
Woohoo! Thanks, Keeper. We'll be back the day after. Food coma be damned. They scurry off to spread the good news.
So, what does that mean? Does that mean we're closed, like, immediately? Or does that mean... Oh yeah, they're gone. Okay, let's close the tavern then. So, no services to be offered. Oh, actually, it's not everyone, it seems. Maybe it's just her. But that's okay. I don't mind this, because as I just mentioned, we could simply have folks clean the place. So this place will be squeaky clean by the time we come back tomorrow. And look, we might have issues with patron satisfaction, but I think that might only dip if we actually let patrons come into the place and not be served, right? So let's do that. Let's just clean the place out. That's gonna be squeaky clean, very happy with that. And then hopefully Ingrid should be back the next morning. Yeah, surprisingly, there's just so much to clean. So I'm hoping that should help with our patron satisfaction as well, because on the next day, all of the patrons are going to be arriving at a very nice clean, well-maintained tavern, right? So that's the hope anyway. Alright, bedtime for everyone, which means I should be able to just open the schedule once more and we'll get everyone to their posts back again. So Daniel is our chef. And Helen is our generalist. Cuthbert is on service duties, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to take a look at who's doing service. So Albin is a full generalist because he helps out in the kitchen a little bit. And then all the other folks are normal generalists. So that's Helen. Nicholas is also just a generalist. And then Cuthbert, I think we have him doing janitor duties in the morning and then serving. Yeah, so this is one of the troubles, I suppose. One thing that would be cool is, having people have presets and you can sort of switch and toggle presets. Yeah, so I think Kenneth is also a server, if I'm not mistaken. Let's save the changes there. Let's just watch the patron satisfaction like a hawk. Okay, the Bayou Chronicle. Let's take a look. Volume 9. Numbers declared to be imaginary. The Mathematicians Guild wants it known that the numbers 3i and -b, I don't know what you say to, actually describe that, upper arrow 2, are considered imaginary. Anyone trying to use them to swindle peasants into overpaying for goods or services will be extrapolated. Oh, yes, let's not forget to open the tavern. Goodness me. Almost forgot.
The timeline recently.
The timeline? I suppose we should check it now to see what kind of entertainment we need. Looks like we're going to need entertainment immediately. So that looks good there. Until closing time. Can we actually... Yeah, we can't really change how long people entertain for. They're always in, I think it's like 3 or 4 hour slots. Alright, where are these patrons? Looks like our mutton's about to spoil. And that's okay. I think we can order a couple more in. I wonder if it's a good idea to just go with one batch. It looks like we need other stuff as well though. Game hens, farm hens. Still got a little bit of flour. I think we do need potatoes. And we probably need the carrots as well. Express. Let's do that. Booze-wise, I think we're still looking good. Let me just double check. Nomad's Nectar, Mudweiser. Let's maybe order them. So, Nomad's Nectar should be coming from here. Let's do a couple, again, Express, and then our Mudweiser, I think that's from here. No. Mudweiser. Here. Oh, it's a bit difficult to remember where they come from. Here we go. Let's do, yeah, a couple of batches. Should be good. More prezzies. Love it. Morsel soup. Oh, okay, it's on the way. We'll get morsel soup in soon. Let's see. Have we had... Oh, we've got our first tier 2 patron visiting our accommodation here, which is nice. Hopefully... Well, I guess they've already left, but hopefully this other person is another tier 2. Oh god, fire somewhere. Where is that? Oh lord, alright. We're gonna need one person to go address that. We may as well get Ingrid to do it. She's had a bit of a holiday. Alright, so that's going to need to be prioritized to fix. Okay, we did have 2 of our tier 2 patrons, which is great. We now need 5, so another 3 before we get 2 stars on accommodation. And then we'll need 0.5 of a star after, and I'm not entirely sure what the requirements are going to be for the accommodation to be at that level. Anyway, let's deal with the merchant. I'm not sure if we want anything from him, but we may as well just check what he has. Slab shell grub. I think we could do with some boar jerky. Let's do... yeah, I'll even get like 3. And yeah, I mean, Lost Oasis might not be too bad here as well. May as well pad out our stock a little bit. Man, this place is getting dirty again. Well, prezzies, we're almost at 80% satisfaction. That's pretty cool. Bow rail shelves. Interesting. Oh, we need to focus on this guy. And this guy. Oh no, he left. He left without being served. That's no good. Come on, folks. More stories. Nicholas this time.
Darling! Oh, darling! An elven staffer waves a kerchief in your direction, looking morose. This place is so drab. I need to look at something beautiful. And the only place I can do that here is in the mirror. I'm going to do that for the rest of the day.
Are you kidding? If that's what you have to do, I understand.
Tut tut, I wasn't asking for feedback. This was a courtesy. Beauty is a right, not a choice. See you when I've sufficiently dazzled myself.
Oh man, alright, so what does this mean? Like, is he just out of action for one day? I think so. That's similar to what we had before. Am I gonna close the tavern this time? I could. 2 stars, okay, great. So hopefully by the time they go home, we would have 3 out of 5, which is good. Alright, let's take a look at what's about to happen here. So we've got 6 patrons coming in. Do I accept the group? I suppose. I mean, we're down 1 person, right? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I've got the cash for it. I won't close the tavern this time around. I reckon we can make do. Ooh, but we are getting some bugs in here, which is not great. Okay, we're already out of game hens again. People really, really like soup. So let's grab game hens. Oh no, we don't have gaffer spuds. That's out of stock for a while. I don't know if our stew will last. We've only got 5 in stock. I think what we'll do is we'll switch the stew out to, well, a stew that we cook with the carrots instead of the gaffer spuds. I think that'll solve the problem, but we have to wait until the stew is finished. So, keep an eye out on it. I am just more concerned about this place getting so dirty though. I think we're gonna need to do something about that. And yeah, having one person, one of the staffers, do their own thing has really cost us here. Do we have people staying the night? We do. 1 star.
You know humans are the only culture to still have a monarch? Even Ertingale elects its High Council.
We've got another 2 star, which is good. Yeah, and fires are going to be a bit more of a problem because of all of this dirt. So I'm thinking of closing the tavern again. We'll just let our guests stay though. And we'll close it as soon as they leave. Yeah, because we might start getting infestations here if we're not on top of all of this.
Our accommodations have earned a 2-star
Yes.
rating.
Finally. Okay. So, 8 tier 2 patrons need to stay overnight, which means that we don't really need to do anything else with the rooms, we just need to wait some more. Let's close the tavern, and once again, I'm gonna get everyone onto cleaning duties. And yeah, we're gonna just clean out this place. And I mean, with Nicholas away, things have sort of gone down the crapper, really. So we do need everyone to be here doing their jobs. So, but I do like to give people time off and all that sort of stuff when they ask. I mean, I've already started with 1 staffer, so I don't know if we could say no to some people and then they might, I don't know, be upset for an entire day or something. Merchant. Let's see. Nomad's Nectar. Yeah, we can do a couple more. And I think that's it. We do have some ingredients here. I could swap out, like the spuds for some of this stuff, but I probably won't bother, to be honest, because I've gotten more carrots in stock. So yeah, let's, oh my god, another fire. Where is it? Is someone on it already? Yeah, okay. That does
Have you checked the timeline recently?
affect their morale, I think, fires. And the timeline, I guess maybe there's going to be more, like, groups, which we can, like, accept if we were open, that is. Yeah, let's just clean up this place. No reason to open it while it's so dirty. And I think Nicholas is back now, right? So what are we waiting on? Accommodation at 2.5, which I think is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Alright, I think the place is as good as new. Let's push people back into their roles. So Ingrid, Daniel, who's a chef, Helen, generalist. Nicholas, who's a generalist as well. Cuthbert, who is a janitor and server. And then we've got Albin, who is a full generalist. Kenneth, who is just our normal generalist, I suppose, if we want to call it that. Looking good. Looking good. Let's... I think that's... Oh, hang on. We're missing one server, aren't we? Who's decent at serving? Kenneth. Let's do server for you. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, if we had 2 lockers, we could probably speed up the process of people sort of getting changed and stuff, but I really don't think that's required. Oh, we've run out of fine flour as well. Fix that problem up. Bayou Chronicle, Volume 10. A corpse by any other name. Undead lobbying group, the Afterlife League, is petitioning for the term halfling to extend to the undead on the grounds that they are half dead and half alive. This is the latest move by the League to distance themselves from the negative stigma of the term undead. Representatives in Harfington have released a statement refusing to listen to the demands from any organization whose acronym is TALL. Fair enough, fair enough. I guess it might be insulting to them. How's our stew going? Okay, our stew is done for. Let's just take a quick look at whether or not spuds are available. No, spuds are still not available, so we do need to make an adjustment to the menu. Let's take the stew off, and we're going to need to add something new. So stew, we need bog water, we need mutton, and then we need golden heart carrots, and yeah, let's create that instead of the one with the potatoes in it. Perfect. Oh, actually, I need to set that, don't I? So, there we go. That'll keep people busy. Another storybook.
Is this real? Is this another hallucination? I've been lost in the swamp I don't know how long. The bedraggled customer stares around the tap room, mouth agape. His clothes are tattered and torn, and his wild beard trails to his waist. He locks on to you with disbelieving eyes. I was walking home after frogging and followed what I thought was the lantern of another traveller. It wasn't. I've been wandering the swamp ever since.
That's awful. How long were you out there?
I was hoping you could help me figure that out. He shudders and draws a shaking hand over his face. It couldn't have been that long. A month, maybe? Less than a year, for sure. This tavern was called Emerson's Claw when I set out. Fella named Pete ran it. Did you buy it from him? How long ago was that?
Well, this place was long abandoned when I found it.
Abandoned? No, that's impossible. Finest tavern west of Maramine town, this, and hardly 20 years since it was built. Who would abandon it? His eyes narrow, then widen. This isn't real. You aren't real. This is another trick of the will-o'-the-wisp. A fiction, like those tales of immortal elven folk and dragon spawn in the far north, beyond the wild woods. His voice rises to a shriek. You won't fool me again, Pixie! I won't be fooled again!
Slap him across the face.
You lash out, attempting to slap
We've got good
sanity
dexterity.
back into the poor man.
Let's do it. Yes. Now we could get some rewards out of this as well.
His head to the side. He abruptly falls silent. It seems at first, as he very slowly turns back toward you, that you overdid it. But the face that turns to you is serene. His eyes are shining. His cheek is scarlet.
You are real. Thank you.
His voice is hushed as he rubs his cheek.
I think perhaps I've been gone a lot longer than I thought. Pour me a mug, would you, friend? Got some things to think about.
Very good. I don't know if we do get a reward from that one, though. I think it's all quite random. Nice gift there. Focus on this guy. And that person. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of micromanagement every now and then. Ooh, we are out of... Oh, we're out of drinks again. That I was not expecting. I guess Mudweiser is pretty popular. Yeah, let's get that delivered ASAP. How are we doing on guests here? 2-star, 2-star, very nice.
Did you ever hear about that wizard tower on that island off the coast? I wonder if anyone still lives there.
Okay, let's take a look. Do we need anything from the merchant? Oh, we've got Mudweiser here. We could just get at least one batch of Mudweiser. What the hell is that? Sun roots. Okay. Oh, blue cheese. Yes, we'll take some blue cheese. We can have some blue cheese on the menu. Yeah, let's purchase that. And then I can immediately swap this out to Mudweiser. And, well, I suppose we did get our Mudweiser delivery as well, so... looking good. Let's also get some entertainment in. I keep forgetting about this, but... let's do... entertainment there, and there. Keep people happy. Yeah, the Mudweiser goes really, really fast, doesn't it? Let's try and be on top of our stock here, though. So, we are running out of breakfast rolls. Game hens. I think we are out of farm hens as well. So, let's grab a couple of farm hens. Gaffer spuds are back. Let's grab those. And yeah, I'm gonna need to let the stew run out though before we can do anything about it. So some more mutton and breakfast rolls. Let's go. And look at the amount of gold we have though. 5,000. That's pretty impressive, if I may say so myself. Okay, do we have any guests coming in though? That's the real question. As we just need one more tier 2. I don't think we have any guests today. Real shame. There's always tomorrow. Okay, let's just keep an eye out on stuff. Mudweiser... Nomad's Nectar. Lost Oasis is a little low. So why don't we order some in? Yeah, let's do a couple more batches. And some blue cheese as well. Why not? Keep the blue cheese side dish going. Oh, and entertainers. Let's grab some entertainers as well. Yeah, I don't know if we actually have any guests coming here around this time, but that's alright. We'll keep the place lively. More stories. This time a customer. Ninove.
It sure is a solitary life running a tavern. People come and go, but no one sticks around. Aside from maybe Hops. And Dorothy, technically. But you've had warmer friendships with furniture. How does one forge relationships anyhow? Just pick someone you see around town and speak to them once a day? Perhaps give them gifts until they begin to feel affection for you? Surely it's something like that. Worth a try, anyway. Maybe even with one of the people here at the tavern now. Who do you fancy?
Oh, okay. What is this? I like someone quieter and more thoughtful.
The tall, elven man by the fire fits the ticket. He's brooding with such sullen intensity that he's completely silent. Unless by quieter you meant someone introverted. That would likely be the halfling over there on her own, reading a book at the table by the window.
Pick the elf, I can fix him. I picked the halfling. I love to read.
You inch over to the halfling. She doesn't notice you at first, engrossed in her book, and you wait in an increasingly awkward silence for her to look up. Finally, you decide to try clearing your throat to get her attention, and she lifts her head from her book with wide, startled eyes. She blinks owlishly. It seems it's up to you to break the silence.
Hello? Good book?
She shrugs bashfully, shrinking into her seat as her eyes dart back to her book. You're already losing her. You need to say something else fast. This is your chance to bring all your charms to bear in the form of a single, flawless pickup line or action. Here goes.
Okay, well, this'll determine whether or not we have any Riz. Oh my god. Very poor options here. We have a better chance with this one. You read? You like books? I can buy you books.
The words tumble forth. Time slows. You stare at one another. You second guess everything you've ever said.
So we can retry, but this is at the penalty of like chaos happening randomly during the playthrough, right? So those black lightning strikes that we've seen, it'll increase the amount of those from happening. So I'll accept the failure. We apparently don't have any risk at all.
Unfortunately, your charm falls short of the attempt. Your words land as clumsily as you delivered them, as everyone nearby eavesdrops on the disastrous attempt. You excuse yourself and retreat to reconsider the entire endeavor. After all, you're here to run a business, not get embroiled in an incremental romance arc with a random stranger, right? Right.
Okay, that was kind of random. Alright. I'm still waiting for that one more customer, though. We still haven't reached 8 customers for our accommodation. So is anyone staying? Yes, we've got, okay, 2 of them. Fantastic. Alright, so that should bring us over the line, and we are at 78% as well. Which means as soon as these guys leave, I think we'll reach our 3 stars. Goodness me, that was a lot of work to get there. Very nice. Alright, 2.5 stars actually. Sorry, it's not 3 stars that we can get to. Because we've hit the maximum rating. So, I guess...
It doesn't bother me, but make sure you have good tavern lighting. People don't love drinking in the dark.
Okay, sure. But I mean, our tavern is pretty brightly lit, if you ask me. Maybe there are some pockets here and there. The storeroom, I don't really like having any lighting because the storeroom generally needs to be a little bit cooler. But, yeah, that means there is perhaps a way to get to 3 stars, which we haven't seen in this scenario just yet. So perhaps maybe when we start the next scenario, we'll get to actually take a look at that. Let's see, what do we have? Nomad's Nectar. Yeah, we are actually running a little low. Why not? We'll buy 1. Savory hand pies. Interesting. I mean, sure. Since he's here. But since we've reached the maximum rating, I think this is probably going to be the last episode where we're running the blue dingo out of the bog over here, right? So we should perhaps take the series and move on to a different area, perhaps one that's not so swampy. But before we do, I think it's probably a decent chance for us to do one last bit of decorating, because as I keep alluding to, we have all these decorative options, which I've only just realized you do from here and not from the design menu, although you can still decorate things with you know, the design menu anyway, if you wanted to. But yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense here. So let's do... Yeah, I'm thinking, like, there's probably room for, like, adding various shelves. For just behind the bar counter. And maybe we just get like a variety of different types of shelves. We can decorate the kitchen as well. Might not be a bad idea to do that. Ooh, this looks good. Do like that. And I think we should get more Stein glasses in. Yeah, that looks nice. And then this section here looks a little bit empty as well. Let's do some shelving, perhaps. I don't know about these though. The pipe shelving doesn't seem to go quite well with the aesthetic of this place. Candle shelves? Maybe. Can we do candle shelves on the outside? Or maybe just over there. I wonder if that creates sparks and stuff. It might. Yeah, this looks good. Perfect. And we could probably like place a whole bunch of stuff on top of the shelves as well, right? So if we choose objects, so We can do like trays, maybe even... I'm pretty sure we have access to like... yeah, cutlery and steins and stuff like that, mugs. These things are gigantic though, aren't they? Perhaps maybe it might not be a bad idea to reduce the size of these things. Yep. Something like that. So we do duplicate, and I can probably move stuff around. And I could probably rotate a little bit. Let's get more steins in here, but we do want to just play around with the size first before we do anything else. Yeah, that looks decent. Yeah, pretty good. Let's just take a look at other options here. Alright, and we got bottles and stuff, which I think that would be appropriate for up here. And we've got, yeah, stubby bottles as well. Wine glasses. They make sense to have some wine glasses. That's a bit too big though, so just reduce the size of this. Does look a little squashed, doesn't it? I think maybe something like that. Maybe rotate it a little bit, just take a look at the other side. Yeah, that looks alright. So, we'll replicate that a few times. Alright, that doesn't look too bad at all, right? All of that. And that. We could do a little bit more here, but I'm just looking at the episode though. It has gone on for a while, and I'm looking to perhaps maybe wrap things up very shortly. Let's see. Yeah, we can do drapes. Let's do some blue ones. I think that will look good. Something like that. Is there a way to flip the drapes around? I'm not sure if that's a possibility or not. Is there a flip? Movement space, rotation. Perhaps maybe there is a way. I could rotate it. Something like that. That doesn't look too bad. Might not be a bad idea to move some of the lighting though. So I think that makes a bit more sense. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I could probably get like more shelving and all that sort of stuff in as well, but you know what, guys? I think this is probably where we're going to leave it, at least for this tavern, and in the next episode I reckon I'll probably start a brand new tavern in a completely different map, so we get to, again, re-experiment with stuff. Obviously getting all of those stars is important, but I'll probably focus a little bit more on decorating a few more steps of the way rather than what we've been doing for this tavern, just to play around with all of the different styles and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, still gonna try and get to the 2.5 or 3 stars in the next place as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're enjoying things, obviously dropping a like definitely helps. If you're new, subscribing definitely helps me big time as well. Otherwise, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.